Back at it again. It's the State of Football here on this beautiful Thursday, September 22nd, 2021. Here, Season 2, Episode 36, Part 295. It's the State of Football. You're home for real football talk in the mornings. I'm laughing because it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot at the Jersey Shore. It's getting humid. It's getting heavy. It's getting hectic. We got playoff time in the European League of Football. We got the All-Star Showcase. We got the International Combine. We got the international flavor here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. ELF quarterback Jacob Sullivan, who is preparing his Galaxy team into that ELF championship this weekend, will join us in just a second. He checks in from across the pond there in Germany. We'll have Chris O'Leary checking in from Canada, of course, senior writer for the Canadian Football League. And then we'll be going overtime over to Kennesaw State. Esports coordinator Taylor Willis from Conference 1 will join us here on the State of Football today on this, what is it, Thursday, September 20, no, Wednesday. You could see what kind of morning it's been here. Let's welcome in my co-host each and every Wednesday, Ric the Ruler, Amanda Ruller, checking in from McMaster University there. Amanda, who's been waiting so patiently in the virtual green room this morning, putting up with the Serritella nonsense. Good morning, Amanda. How are you today?
Good morning. So happy to be here.
So happy to have you, and really appreciate what's happening around the globe of football. Let's start off with McMaster, Amanda, as your first stint as assistant football coach. I do apologize. I told you I was going to tune in, but we had Zach, the president, here this weekend. We got pulled into a meeting. They got me working on Saturdays. Now, the meeting was in Atlantic City, so I'm not going to complain too much, but I did miss out on the McMaster Marauders season kickoff. So fill us in.
Yeah, exactly. So we went up to Western in London, Ontario, and we played against them. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result that we had wanted. We lost that game, but there was lots of personal wins, right? So on my accord, it was a personal win for me because I got my feet wet in coaching, which was amazing. So it's just really hectic, right? Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but I got in there. I was confident and I did my thing coaching. We got back into film, right? And we're going to fix up a lot of things going into, we have the bye week this week, and we're actually going to play Waterloo next week at home. So you guys can watch. If you're in the area, you can buy tickets. That's going to be an exciting game. And guess what? Western, you haven't seen The Last of Us. I promise you'll see us again.
Absolutely. I love it. We got the bye week to get it right, get it tight. What's the website to go get tickets, Amanda?
Yeah, McMaster.ca.
And by the way, while you're digging that up, let me congratulate you again for officially becoming a football assistant coach on the books. First game on the books. I know you guys didn't get the results, but hey, it's a step closer to achieving. You know, I know you want to become Canadian Football League coach. I want to see you in the National Football League. I want to bring you south of the border over here. So hopefully we can do both. Amanda Ruller, Ric the Ruler. It's a ruler kind of day here on Wednesday. You got the website there, Amanda?
Yeah, McMaster.ca.
There you go. All right, sign it up. Get your tickets and go over to EuropeanLeague.football. Get your tickets this Saturday, I think, September 26th. I'm getting the days confused, but I know the dates. September 26th, the ELF Championship. Follow at ELF_official. They have you covered from front to back, from east to west, from north to south, around the globe. We're looking for talent here. And Jacob Sullivan, the Galaxy quarterback, joins us right here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated, out there in Germany preparing for the championship. Good morning here. Good afternoon there. Jacob, how are you today? Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here.
Yeah, I'm doing really well, and I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been waiting to talk to you because you've been lighting up the ELF like the 4th of July. Clearly, you know, one of the best, if not the best player in the league. So what has your experience been like? What has been the secret sauce? What's been the formula over there, playing over there with the Galaxy?
Yeah, I think the first thing for me is I'm really comfortable here. You know, Coach Coach K and everyone in the whole Galaxy organization has been so welcoming. Well, was welcoming to me when I first got here, and now it just feels like a second home. And I think that's the important thing. It's a big family atmosphere. I got a lot of great guys around me, and as you've seen throughout the whole season, we have a lot of special players on our team. And that's really helped contribute to my success as well. We got a pretty cool defense that I like to play against every day of practice. And then we got a lot of great athletes on offense, and we can spread the ball around a little bit. And it's been a fun season, man. And I'm excited for the 26th for Sunday to close this thing out, hopefully on a high note. Yeah, and it's a special experience.
Yeah, if you're watching at home, you see the Frankfurt Galaxy highlights there. I got to get myself one of those shirts. I'm loving that logo, by the way. Takes me to back to my 90s days. But you're joined by Amanda Ruller, Ric the Ruler here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network. We've joined by Jacob Sullivan. What do you got for Jacob here, Amanda?
I'm so excited for your championship game coming up. So how do you personally prepare for that physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a very simple guy when it comes to preparation because I just trust so heavily on the guys around me and just in myself. So, preparation for me basically stays the same for every game week. Maybe a little extra for the championship. We've had an extra week. We had a bye week. Well, bye week. We had an extra week to prepare basically. But it doesn't really change. For me as a quarterback, I want to make sure that the offense is doing what it's supposed to be doing, on every play. And truthfully, playing football is it's a very reactive sport. The defense isn't going to come out and run a cover two or the whole entire game or cover four, run man the whole game. They're going to change, and we're not going to run the same formation and the same play every play. So they have to react to us. So for me, it's really important that we're good at what we're good at, and we make the simple play simple. And then at the end of the day, we're going to adjust if they make adjustments, but then we're just going to make plays. So for me, the whole process is just trusting ourselves, preparing in practice. And then when it's game day, we've played football for a long time. A lot of us have, and it just comes down to making plays. And, we have a lot of guys who can make those plays. So that's what I'm excited for.
That's right. You got to get ready and stay ready so you don't have to prepare and be ready on that day, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Jacob Sullivan here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. Hey, shout out to all the chat room peoples. I see you, Temple of the Hut, Brian Beasley. Good morning. I know all you chat room people are out there. Tom Gidhines, Dan Cassidy, the Prez, Zach Pedro. I know you're out there. Appreciate the love and support. Hey, Jacob, take me through this Galaxy offense. What kind of scheme are you running here? And how does the terminology translate playing overseas? Are the play calls, maybe give us a sample call here, or take us through a play if you can.
Yeah, no, for sure. The terminology, the terminology and verbiage does change, right? But it's still football. So you still have your basic run schemes, your power schemes. Those things are the same whether you're playing, in South Dakota or in Frankfurt, Germany. But just the names change. And for us, we run a very unique offense just in the fact of, in the first drive of the game, we might run through 4, 5, 6 different formations. We have a lot of good players, and that's what that highlights. And, for us, we really just, for me even, I just try to get my best players the ball in space and let them make plays, and that's what we brought them in for. That's what I'm here for. It's a playmaker's paradise. And, for us, gosh, the plays can change so much depending on the formation and the personnel. But for example, we might run like a tight end set with we can move. The best thing about it, okay, our tight end Kevin Wamba is one of my favorite players on our team because he's such a Swiss Army knife. He can do so many different things, which is what the tight end position is. But we have some stuff where we put him in the backfield, we put him on the line, we spread him out, and then it's just like I said, finding guys in space and letting them make the plays. I think half of my touchdowns have been finding one of our guys 5 yards downfield, and they break a tackle, and then they take it the rest of the way. So they made my job pretty easy, but I'm just having fun with it. That's the most important thing.
And for those of you listening at home, Jacob has an incredible story. I mean, I know you don't have the whole hour to hang out, Jacob, but take us through your story on how you winded up out at the ELF and your journey out there and coming from, what is it, South Dakota Mines? I mean, unbelievable stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born and raised in Rapid City, South Dakota. I played high school football at St. Thomas More High School. My father was actually the head football coach, still is. And then I went to college in my hometown at South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. It's a small Division II engineering school. So not a lot of partying, a lot of focus on school and football for me during my college stint, which is fine. It was good. And then, honestly, I was ready to be done playing football come my senior year because I was going to graduate. I was going to have an engineering degree. I was kind of ready to start the next chapter of my life. I still loved football, and I just didn't know what the next step for me could have been. So had a pretty decent senior season at South Dakota Mines. We set a lot of records, and we had another very fun season. I'd say this season and that season are my two top seasons so far, just fun wise and enjoyment. But then I got hit up by a bunch of German teams, and I ended up going to Marburg, Germany, to play for the Mercenaries. And Coach K is gonna kill me for this, but we actually beat Frankfurt at Frankfurt at PSD, so at my home stadium now, for the first time in franchise history. And it might have been a little playoff throwaway game before the playoffs, but we won't talk about that too much. But then so then I played in Marburg, and we had a great season there. I was with Marvin Ruch, Hendrik Schwartz, number 82 and number 13 on our team, two explosive players, really great guys. And then in 2020, I went to Vienna, Austria, to play for the Vikings. And gosh, we were doing our Friday practice, preparing for our Saturday game, first game of the season. COVID hits. That game day was the first day of COVID for us. Lockdown happened, and I was not stuck. I actually got to enjoy Vienna for what it was during the quarantine from March until July-ish. I went back to the States, and again I was met with this weird amount of time being back in the States, and I had a couple job offers just to be an engineer then. So then I had to hang up the cleats. Coach K called me, talked about the ELF, the potential of the ELF. Even at that time, it wasn't even a for sure thing at that. It was during Thanksgiving, I think. It wasn't even a for sure thing. Presented the idea though, presented the Galaxy, talked about our roster, the guys he was bringing in, and I mean, it wasn't hard for me to say yes after that. And then I ended up coming here in May, and I've had such a short time with some of these guys. But it feels like we've been together for years. So that's a really cool thing about the Galaxy and, my experience here so far.
Oh, it's the great thing about this lovely game of football. It could take you across the globe, literally. Jacob Sullivan is evidence of that. And he prepares for the championship. European League of Football, European League Football. Get the tickets September 26th, coming up this weekend. Amanda, anything else before we'll let Jacob go here?
Yeah, I just want to say a lot of people, when they're given an opportunity like that, they almost can't do it because it is quite scary, right? To move to a new country. So I commend you for that because it takes a lot of strength. Was there a big transition when you did move to another country? What was that kind of like?
Yeah, it was really interesting actually because I got contacted in, I think, January of 2019. And I was finishing up my spring semester of my last semester of college, my bachelor's. And, the GFL season had started then, around, I think, May-ish. So they wanted me there in March, maybe even a little before. So I was going to have to finish my final year or my final half year abroad. And my family is from South Dakota. We haven't really been out of South Dakota much. So for me to make this jump, you're right. It was a scary deal. And I'm the oldest of 5 kids. And for me, it was more, I pride myself on, trying to be the best role model I can be for my siblings. So for me, making this jump and moving from South Dakota to Marburg, Germany on a whim, just to go play football, not a whim, sorry, to follow a passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
To gain more experience, to find myself, see who Jake really was. I think they probably won't say it, but I think it did show them that, hey, you can branch out. You don't have to stay in South Dakota forever. And that's just a small example. But I wanted to get out and show my siblings, my family, that it's okay to do what you want and follow what you love, and you never know what can come from it. And me having to finish that whole semester, while in Marburg, while in Germany, was kind of difficult with the time change at first. And it was a difficult, transition. It really was, because I love my family more than anything, and being in the same hometown as them for 23 years was a blessing. But then also, leaving was tough. But being away makes you realize and appreciate how much you have back home, and that's what I really like, about being over here. And at the end of the day, I took that chance to go play across the pond, as we say. But look where it ended up. I'm playing the championship on Sunday with a great team, representing a great organization, representing a great fan base. My whole team is, and I'm very happy. I'm very excited to be where I'm at in life right now, and I can't wait for Sunday.
So inspirational. No, I love that story. And it's a great story. And I hope that other people listen and follow and take a chance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, seriously. Good for you, Jacob, man. That's incredible stuff. Jacob Sullivan, Galaxy quarterback here, getting ready for the championship. All about rings and things on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. So one last one for you, Jacob. The Italian in me has to know. You get one final supper anywhere in the world. You've been well-traveled. Where are we going? What part of the country? Are we going back home? Are we going overseas? What meal are we putting on the table here?
That's tough. My grandma Sullivan, she's from Guam. She's got that little chamorro in her, a little Spanish Filipino. And if you like some spicy food and a lot of food, Grandma Sullivan's the spot to be at. So I'm
not sweating enough yet here, Jacob. I need to turn it up, kick it up a notch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying.
So is it just the ingredients, or does she do like a super hot sauce? Because there's a lot of secret hot sauces out there that can be really.
Oh yeah, she's got a little hot sauce. It's called finadang, and it's like soy sauce, onions, some other little secret stuff, I think, and then she throws whatever kind of hot pepper she wants in there, and woo.
That sounds dangerous.
She has to make a separate hot sauce for me called not as hot sauce.
Finadang. It sounds like a killer. Man, we gotta get a label on it. Jacob Sullivan here.
Selling that thing.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I know you're smart enough to figure it out. You've got quite the background here. I really enjoyed getting to know you, because I really didn't get to know you really too much. I did a little homework on you, but had no idea about your travels and tribulations, and just inspirational stuff here with Jacob Sullivan. Any final words, parting shots, anything you want to tell the Galaxy fans at home as you get ready for this championship, September 26th?
Gosh, I mean, hey, be there, baby. Dusseldorf. I don't know where else you'd want to be September 26th. All you Galaxy fans, I know you're going to be rocking purple. I want you guys to be loud as hell. And I can't wait to see all you guys, before and after the game. And, hopefully we're holding that trophy high. Celebrate with you guys too. And then you guys, thank you so much for having me again. And Amanda, congrats on, the coaching and all the cool stuff you're doing. I can't wait to hear more about that, and can't wait to talk to you guys again soon.
Hell yeah, let's do it again, Jacob. I can't wait until our paths cross again. We thank you so much for joining us here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. Hey, go get you a ring this weekend, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll get that done. Talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely. There you go.
Bye.
He's a man on a mission, that Jacob Sullivan. But what a fun story there, huh, Amanda?
Oh my goodness, what a fun story. Everything from his football, but to his travels as well. Like I said, it's very scary, like to move to another country. And I've done it myself when I lived in the States. And that was just Canada to the States, but he did it all. Like he actually went full force, full different languages. And this is so inspiring. I'm almost at a loss for words because he's one of the most inspiring guests I've encountered on your show so far. So it's exciting to see that passion.
No, it was fun to see it here on our show every Wednesday. Amanda Ruller, our co-host here each and every Wednesday, man. We are so blessed to have her. Tomorrow we'll have Dane Vandernat from the NFL.PA Collegiate Bowl. Neil Stratton will check in like he usually does from InsideTheLeague.com. Did we sandwich somebody in between them this week again? I thought we put somebody in there. We'll have Brandon Lebenko. No, we'll have Fit Gamer on, but we're going to have a different representative on in overtime. And then we did your agent. Oh, we're gonna have Michael Langley from 8760 Sports Management. I'm looking forward to that. And then Friday will be a Football Friday affair with Lorenz Lineweber, who I see is in the chat room. Is he available to pop on, Samantha? Do we know, for 10 minutes here? I'd love to pick his brain on this show that he's doing on Friday. I think he's doing an ELF preview show on Friday. Big Law will be doing a special presentation with Emmanuel Acho at 11 o'clock. So we got overtime all week here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated, presented by the NFL Draft Bible. If you go to the NFLDraftBible.com, take advantage of the kickoff sale that they're doing. I think it's like $5 a month. You unlock all the premium content across the Sports Illustrated platform, all the sites, not just NFL Draft Bible. You get SI, all the beat writing sites. It's about 100 websites that you gain access to, and you get an annual publication subscription to Sports Illustrated. You know, people don't realize I got this feedback in my ears all day, every day, Samantha. I don't know what we're going to do to change this issue, but man, oh man, it's tough some mornings, you know. We got Chris O'Leary coming up at 9:40. Lorenz Lineweber is going to hop on, busted ankle and all. I don't know if you saw this, Amanda, but Lorenz, somebody let him out of the film room. He didn't ask for a hall pass, and he busted up his ankle. He's on crutches now. He's all mangled up. We're going to find out. I know he was scheduled to go out to the championship here, so we're going to see if he can still make it out to Dusseldorf, I guess. And did you see? Yeah, it's all busted up, that Lorenz Lineweber. I said, man, next time you got to get a hall pass next time you want to leave the film room, you know. And now his status is questionable because there's the international combine. Did you see this in October? What is it? October 12th? I think they just announced it. They're going to have an international combine series, which I didn't get to talk to Jacob. We talked briefly before the show. He said 2 of his offensive linemen will be participating, but I think it's about 50 players from the UK, and like 14 of the players participated in the ELF this past season. And we were hoping to have Lorenz Lineweber head out there. There he is. Let's pop him on here. He's not in the medical bed. He's not in the ICU. He's checking in with the block letters, Lorenz. What happened, my friend?
I left the film room. I don't know what happened. Tried to go hiking, I gave it a shot and didn't look where I was going. Kind of stupid. Next thing I know, I got a chipped bone, like ligament damage, and I got to wear this thing for 6 weeks and got to walk around on crutches. But this is what I get, I guess. How you guys doing?
I'm impressed how fast you got on the show, by the way, because you're like 3 minutes, I'm there.
Lorenz is always ready.
Well, all I'm doing is just sitting around here, like consuming stuff. So I was like, yeah, might as well, Just had to get my bike.
That is true, yeah.
So now you get more time in the film room. Just what you needed. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, you guys are getting a new scouting lens tomorrow.
That's outstanding. And I don't think we made an official announcement on the State of Football here, but you are now a part of the scouting staff here at the NFL.PA Collegiate Bowl. outstanding stuff. Amanda, I thought I'm hopping into all these Zoom calls all day long. Everywhere I go, Lorenz happens to pop up. I'm like, I pop on the link. Of course I'm late to the meeting. I pop on. There's Lorenz. I said, oh, I must be in the wrong meeting. Wait, Lorenz, what are you doing? So it was really cool to see. People don't realize this. They said, oh, that's so cool. You hooked up Lorenz. No, I didn't hook up nothing. Lorenz earned that, man, by showcasing his work here on Sports Illustrated, coming on the show and being recognized by guys like Dane. That was incredible. So we're happy to see that. Go ahead, Lorenz. Tell the people at home a little bit about what you're going to be doing there.
Yeah, I mean, I hit up Dane a while ago. I know a lot of these all-star games. Obviously, for me over here, it's tough to get practical experience, so to say, with actual teams and actual organizations. I mean, if I was just in college over there in the United States, I could walk into someone's recruiting office and hopefully get a shot. It's obviously not a done deal, easy as that, but I know a couple other guys on staff that have done that, and that's obviously not an opportunity or not a chance that I have. So I explored other options, and I thought all-star games. Hey, I got Dane Vandernet's number, so just go shoot him a text. I was like, hey, here's what I do. And he was like, yeah, I know. We'll find something for you. And it was really nice of Dane. It's a great opportunity for me. And I'm just so honored to get the chance to join the scouting staff. I'll help out here and there, where they need some reports, where they need some help with their scouting, and what Dane's gonna need. And I'm just excited to sit in the meetings, learn a lot from a lot of the other scouts. It's incredible how much experience is on that staff, and it's gonna make me a better scout. And I hope I can help out a little bit here and there, but it's a great opportunity, and I'm so happy and can't thank Dane enough.
Absolutely. You're going to make all of our lives a little bit easier, and we got a fun gang, well-traveled gang as well there, but Amanda Ruller here can relate to young, aspiring conquerors, right? They see, they eat, they conquer, and, Amanda, I'm sure you can relate. Lorenz here aspires to be NFL scout, GM, executive, and here he is making waves in the water.
Oh yeah, it definitely weeds out who can't handle it, because you'll hear no a lot of times, but how many times do you go to another door and knock on it? So you've done that, and you have a passion for what you do, and that's all you can ask for in an individual. So just keep pushing and keep doing your thing, and you'll get there.
I love it. Lorenz, so we had Jacob Sullivan on, which I know you saw. You're doing a championship preview on Friday's show. Tell us a little bit about that, and I want to get a prediction from you in this championship matchup here.
All right, so on Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, you guys all know it's going to be state of football, but it's going to be a little bit different this time because I'll be hosting a ELF championship game edition. I'll have Jacob Sullivan, who you guys just saw, who's a great guy. I'll have the Frankfurt Galaxy head coach, Coach K, who he mentioned about a couple times, who's also a great guy. We're both Germans, Coach K and I are, but we'll try in English. I think he might even be better at English than me. I haven't seen him in some press conferences. And then we'll have the Hamburg Sea Devils defensive coordinator, Kendrell Allison, who's a very experienced coach over here, has been a head coach for a little bit now, defensive coordinator of the first or second best defense, depending on which one you want to take from Hamburg or Frankfurt. And then we'll have their left tackle, Keanu Ebanks, who I think has also been on the show before. So I'll be asking them, how they're preparing, what they're looking forward to, what the game's going to look like potentially from their point of view, recapping the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. If I had to go for a prediction, I will say Frankfurt is going to win that one 24-20. I do think it's going to be closer. I was out there when Hamburg was really banged up, and Frankfurt really rolled them at home. It's obviously very close to me, very close to where I'm at, 45-minute drive. But I think it's going to be a little more competitive this time. Potentially, Hamburg might be getting Kazim Edebali back, who you guys might know. He was on the Eagles and Saints before, now playing on that defense. He's obviously a difference maker just with the athleticism he brings. He's going to be a handful to block if he can't play. But even if not, I think that Hamburg defense with Coach Ellison, they're really good. That offense has got more creative the last couple of weeks, so they'll keep it close. But I think Frankfurt, at the end of the day, man, they're so good. They got talent everywhere. Jacob was just talking about it. They're so well coached, so disciplined. They're so multiple with their looks, with their personnel packages. I think they're going to be tough to beat this year, but I'm picking them. I do think they're the favorite, but it's going to be a fun game. Over 20,000 tickets sold. A lot of exciting announcements. We'll get new franchises announced during halftime, and any way I can, I'll make it out there because it's going to be a can't miss event. And if you want to see it, I know you can go to the European League of Football.com or ELF. I don't know what it is. Just type it into Google. You'll find it, and you can get the pay-per-view for that one game. I'm sure it's going to be worth it. On Sunday, you'll get a little bit earlier action. It's kind of like getting the London game early when you get up in the morning. I think it's going to start at around 9 a.m. or 8:45 a.m. for you guys over there in the United States.
Hey, I've been telling our friend Chris Hahn over there, let me know when you expand to Italy. I'm ready to come be the coach. Sign me up. You want to get me out of the Jersey Shore, that's one way to do it. Put a team in Italy. I'm there. Chris.
Hey, it might be happening.
What's the speculation there? Do you think it's going to be Germany, London, Italy? What do you think, Lorenz?
There's been a lot of speculation. I think with German teams, I'm not sure if there'll be more German teams for this round of the expansion, just because with how the rules are, the main part of your team is going to be made up of native players or players that play in the country that you're located in. But I'm sure they're very interested in potentially Amsterdam, Paris. Those are cities. London, obviously, there's rumors out there on the internet, if even cities like Istanbul are massive markets. I know in Austria they play really good football. There could be a franchise or two even coming from Austria. So I don't know. There's a bunch of possibilities. I'm guessing it's going to be 4 new teams. It might be 6 from what we're hearing.
Wow.
But I think it's 4 for sure. Which, yeah, it's exciting. It definitely is. And did you guys see Mondre London just re-signed with the Cologne Centurions for next season?
I saw that. Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. ELF just throwing some money around over there. I see over there from the Jersey Shore. I could be swayed, by the way. Amsterdam. I could probably be convinced of that one. Sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. What are we doing with you now, Lorenz? Are you on the IR now?
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of just sitting around, but watching some film. Like I said, getting a new scouting lens tomorrow, which is going to be on Zach Charbonnet, who had a big start of the season, with a little bit of updated 2020 tape. So for everyone that's interested in that, should be posted sometime tomorrow on our website, obviously. And outside of that, I'm going to make it out there to the championship game. Be walking around on crutches, but
it
is what it is.
You're going to be there.
Oh, 100%. I can't miss it. And for you guys, nothing else.
So is it the left foot? Is it the non-gas pedal, or what foot do you even use out there in Germany? I don't even know.
It's the left foot. I mean, I have a manual car, right? So I'll just need to convince my dad that I'll take his and won't wreck it because he's got an automatic. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, and that one I could drive. I know the doctor was too happy about me driving a manual, which I don't even think I could do right now. I just have too much pain, but with an automatic shouldn't be an issue at all because all you use is your right foot. So I guess I fell the right way to do that. I don't know.
All right, so the game. So we won't have you then for the State of Football, correct? I mean, for the tailgate show Saturday.
Yeah, because it's a game Sunday, so I'll be out there for the tailgate, 100%.
Okay, all right. So you get Lorenz Friday, Saturday, Sunday, triple header. Lorenz Lineweaver across the pond. Appreciate you hopping on, Lorenz, and make sure you go follow him. He is one of the best, if you're a draftnik, probably the best follow out there on the Twitterverse. Appreciate you, Lorenz.
Hey, high praise and thanks so much. Thanks so much to both of you for having me on short notice, and have fun for the rest of the show. I know you got another great guest lined up. Yeah, no, thanks for joining us on short notice. The hop along Cassidy Kid, Lorenz Lineweaver, he hopped right in the saddle. He said, "I'll be right there. Hold my beer right away." Yeah, that was impressive. It's like he was drinking from my coffee mug or something, Amanda.
I love it. I love it. Now I want to go to Europe.
I'll tell you, I mean, everybody's ready to go. Tom Goodhines wants to get me out of here, send me overseas. Samantha definitely wants to send me overseas. Temple of the Hut, he wants to join me in Europe. Big shout out to all the chat room people, by the way, for tuning in and showing us the love and support here each and every Wednesday. We do have Taylor Willis, the Kennesaw State coordinator and player for the Kennesaw State esports team, part of Conference 1, which I am the commissioner of, kicking off October 5th. Make sure you check us out, cf1.gg. Yep, and the place to be. All right, coming into your living room here from New Jersey. I'm with Amanda. Oh, don't get me started here. Let's welcome in our next guest. He's Chris O'Leary, CFL senior writer for the CFL.ca. There he is, checking in from Canada. It's a Canada affair here on Wednesdays, the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network. What's happening, Chris? How are we?
Doing good. It's kind of a rare rainy day here in Toronto, probably in Hamilton for Amanda as well. But it's good. It's a nice break.
Well, let's start off there in Toronto because they are just continuing to make moves. I saw they signed Chris Jones as a defensive consultant. Tell us about it.
That's in my mind, I think a lot of people's minds, a pretty big signing. Chris Jones is a very well-established defensive coordinator and head coach that kind of grew into a head coach, GM, team vice president. I think he wore about 15 different hats during his time in Saskatchewan before he went down to the NFL and spent some time with the Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago. It's for the Argos just a massive hire. And I mean, you have in Chris Jones, just in terms of the X's and O's, it's a defensive guru, a really creative and dynamic defensive coordinator, not afraid to have his players in kind of unorthodox, non-conventional situations, and just has had a ton of success in the CFL. I think it'll help the Argos. I guess the challenge there will just be like how much he can implement of that style of defense in this short of a season. Now he's basically got about 7 or 8 games to kind of throw something together for his players. But no, I think just a ton of opportunity there for the Argos to improve defensively, and an opportunity for Chris Jones, who had left the CFL, and remember he made waves during the winter. I think just saying that he was looking to get back in. I know when Edmonton had its head coaching opportunity open up, he had inquired about that. They ultimately went with Jamie Elizondo, but I think he was itching to get back up here, and the opportunity presented itself with Toronto, and it's a good fit, and I'm very interested to see kind of what happens here and for his future in the CFL.
It was a move that certainly raised my eyebrows. Obviously, John Murphy with the connection there at Saskatchewan. So I said, whoa, look at this move. And to your point, it's kind of been the story of Toronto all off season, right? Like we just we just sling some mugs, see what sticks, get rid of this guy, add that guy, NFL North. But it's working somewhat. And I think they're going to be in the playoff contention. So to me, it's kind of a long-term advantage if it does pan out, where by the end of the season he'll kind of know what he's working with, so that you hope that everything meshes, you hope that everything gels in time for a deep playoff run. But I think, if you take a look at where this organization was pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic, clearly they've improved more than any other franchise.
Yeah, I think they're probably closing in on their win total from 2018 and 2019. I think they had 4 or 5 win seasons those years, and no, you're right. Just a massive turnaround. And I mean, I guess you're right. Back to your earlier point, I think in hindsight we should have known that if Chris Jones was in any way a free agent, that the Argos would snag him. They try to get everybody that they possibly can. But no, I think you're right. I think they're very much a playoff team, and I think in the East that playoff picture is a little more clear, right? I think Ottawa has fallen behind, so you're looking at those other 3 teams, and Toronto is certainly one of them. And it's just a matter of where they can fall. I mean, it could end up anywhere from traveling for that first week of the playoffs to hosting that East final the week after. And I think it's just a matter of getting all those pieces together, like we've kind of talked about throughout the season, and just getting them on the same page, getting consistent performance out of them, and just seeing what they can do here in the second half of the season.
Amanda Ruller, Ric Serritella, along with Chris O'Leary here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. We do this each and every Wednesday, by the way, folks, right around 9:40 a.m. Eastern time-ish. And Amanda, I know you got a lot here to get to. Kick it off with Chris, who's looking fresh to death, by the way, with his new haircut over here.
I was gonna say that. No, I got rid of the bun, looking really good. What I like about Toronto, I just want to comment them really, really quick, is their boldness. Like, they aren't afraid to make big moves, and I don't care if people are upset about that or what's their salary cap? Are they wasting money by doing this? There's a lot of that conversation in the background, but literally put that narrative in the CFL. We need more cool storylines like that, because a lot of the time it can be so cut and dry that we need this. And Toronto's bold, and they're bringing in more fans, and they're doing everything they can. And I think that's really amazing. And I am going to an Argos game this Friday, so I'm excited to see it in person. So from this last CFL week, and I know we have a game today, which I'm excited about, what was like your impressions? What did you like the most? Was there something, an upset you saw, or what did you think?
I think maybe the most interesting or most surprising thing to me was just that first game last week with Calgary in Hamilton. I know at CFL.ca we had all picked Calgary to win that game. I know Levi Mitchell had never lost to the Ticats. And you look at the Ticats injury situation, right? They're down to their third string quarterback. Calgary had played a strong defensive game, at least the week before, against Edmonton. And it seemed like a very logical pick to make. And then, of course, I think I wrote yesterday that it was, maybe the most 2021 game of this season. That, of course, the team with the third string quarterback just leans on his defense, gets no offensive touchdowns, gets a great performance from its kicker, and they beat Calgary for the first time in forever. And that was really interesting to me. I'm interested in BC. I feel like they're doing a lot of good things right now. I think they're in a good place. I know that they're tied with Saskatchewan at the 4-2 record, and just the emergence of Lucky Whitehead. I think if you followed him in Winnipeg, you knew he was an explosive returner, and there was always that threat there. But he's added that receiver part to his game, and he's just really blossomed in the last few weeks. Him and Mike Riley just seem to have a great chemistry, and Riley seems to find him for those long bomb touchdowns week after week, or he takes a missed field goal and runs it back for a touchdown. And I think BC's doing a lot of interesting stuff to me. And then and then I think mentioning Saskatchewan with the same record, I thought they bounced back well and handled the Argos at home.
Yeah, it was awesome to see Saskatchewan come back from that 2 game in a row loss to Winnipeg, and they came back in strong. And I was surprised to see. I mean, Cody was practicing, but he came back in. Nothing wrong with his head, and he was on point, and it was amazing to see him do his thing. And I think that it was awesome that the Saskatchewan Roughriders kind of had more of a run game to marry with their pass game too, so it kind of gave them a little bit more balance coming into that game, and I think that's what they needed against Toronto. I remember I told you Toronto would win, so
I think I picked them too.
I owe you a coffee or something.
I think it cancels itself out because I think we both had Toronto. But
yeah, with that, I actually was at the Stamps Ticats game, so that was my first chance to go to the Hamilton Stadium here, and it was really cool to be there in person. And I was going to ask you, what did you think about Watford?
I was a little surprised just in that, just seeing his numbers and just the offensive totals, that it seemed like a little more of a conservative outing, I think, than I might have expected for a quarterback that, like we talked about last year, that had been there and has some familiarity with that offense. But I guess, I mean, in hindsight, it works out. I think he was like 14 of 17 or 17 of 20 or something. I mean, accurate, but nothing huge in there, right? And from what I saw, and I'm interested to see. And you mentioned the game tonight, what Watford does with this game, and he'll be starting for the second week. Does he build on that, or is this just kind of the ceiling? And this is what you've got with your third string quarterback, is just sort of a careful and not overly risky offense. Maybe is that the way you go, and you kind of lean on those other 2 phases of the game to try and win. So I'm curious to see if there's growth there tonight, if maybe he takes a little more risks, if they just make bigger calls and just try and get those bigger plays. But I feel like last week possibly was a building block. And on the other side, if it is just that conservative, like very cautious offensive game, that's not going to be a lot of fun. But Hamilton has the weapons, I think, to try and to be in a position to win if that's the way they want to go.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting because he was with the Riders. That was the same year as Cody he was coming in, so I just felt like he wasn't going to get a chance. So it's cool to see him get to another team and make a name for himself in that respect. And with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Elks, obviously Blue Bombers won that, but the Elks put up some 22 points, so they had a little fight in there. So obviously, who's your top team right now?
Well, I think it's still Winnipeg. They're just, I think you're seeing a little more separation now with the rest of the league, and again, like I feel like I say a lot of these things repeatedly, but they have different ways to beat you. And they had the strong start against Edmonton. I think they're up 14-0 quickly, and then the offense kind of leveled off for a bit. And I think you just knew, and especially again for Edmonton with Taylor Cornelius in there, sort of I would think kind of a last minute start with Trevor Harris's neck injury. It was kind of like an inevitability that the rookie quarterback in his first start against the best defense in the league is gonna make some mistakes, and he eventually did make those, and the defense capitalized on it. And I think just if you want to criticize the Bombers, if you want to find the one thing to nitpick at, it's the kicking game. Like they've had the injuries there. Krapina, a guy that you'll know well from his time in Saskatchewan. With him on the 6th game, and they've got a rookie kicker in Mark Leggio. I feel like I always say his name wrong. Leggio. I think I always call him Legs. But you've got a rookie kicker there, and then and then you bring in I think it was like a 32-year-old American that I don't think had played in the CFL prior and missed all his field goal attempts. Those are the things that could come back and bite you. But I mean, the Bombers have been so strong that it hasn't been an issue for them yet.
Chris O'Leary here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated with Amanda Ruller, Ric Serritella. Chris, I love the CFL.ca QB power rankings. I haven't had a chance to pop on and see the latest. How does that look up top now, sitting atop the QB rankings?
I think the trend is always the same. I think it always starts with Winnipeg, and you look at Zach Collaros every week, and they're always modest numbers. Like I don't think he's thrown for over 300 yards in a game yet this year. I think he might have come close or maybe slightly over, but it seems like it's always in that 250, 270 yards range. But there's a couple of touchdowns, very rarely an interception. Just he takes care of the ball, and I just think that that offense led by Collaros, I think they just find their spots, and he just finds ways to hurt you. It's not the flashiest thing. It's not Mike Riley. It's not Trevor Harris putting up a 400-yard game. You don't really see that with the Bombers, but it's just this deliberate offense. And they've got arguably still the best running back in the league in Andrew Harris that they can go to whenever they need that. And I think they've got a really smart veteran quarterback in Collaros there that can do a lot of different things. I mean, he's great on his feet too. And I think as long as the Bombers are kind of putting up the wins the way they are, I think to me, Collaros stays at that top spot.
Yeah, it's a tough backfield to defeat for sure. Yeah. Now, I did get to peek at the Pick'em standings, and I saw our friend here, Chris O'Leary.
That's not going well, man.
Sliding down. Yeah, you did the little slip and slide down. I think you're 4th now in the standings. So drum roll, please. I guess, Amanda, we'll let you do your thing here with the Chris O'Leary Pick'em segment.
Yeah, so actually we have a game tonight, which is super exciting. So who do you think, Ticats or Red Blacks?
I went Ticats, but I think a lot about Ottawa in this situation. I feel like this is a good opportunity for them. I feel like Hamilton's the stronger team, but they're also coming off of a 5-day layover from their Friday night game. Ottawa's coming off a bye week, so they've got the advantage of rest, and I would assume some additional prep. But it just hasn't been good in Ottawa. I feel like Hamilton is the better team, so I'm going there.
Going with Hamilton. I think I might have to pick Hamilton for this one too. Okay, so we got Alouettes and Argos.
This is a tough one for me too. I went Montreal, but I feel like both teams are kind of in a similar spot where they don't have the consistency that they want. They've both shown that they've been able to bounce back well. I think one thing for Montreal that will work in its favor is just they were without Kahari Jones last week. He tested positive for COVID. I think he kind of worked the game virtually. I don't know if he was in a headset or just sat at home and watched when the game came, and I think they let Andre Bolduc fill in as head coach last week. I think having Kahari back will help, especially for Vernon Adams. I think there's like a great closeness there. They have a really strong relationship, and so I think that'll give Montreal the edge. So I went with the Owls in Toronto on Friday.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Argos, and then our last game, Riders and BC.
I'm really looking forward to this one. I think I think it's going to be a great battle between Cody Fajardo and Michael O'Reilly. I think just the Lions being at home, I think they're playing well. They've won 3 in a row now, I believe, and I think this is the first time that the Lions are actually doing what everyone kind of expected them to do when Mike Riley joined them as a free agent last year, 2019 now. And I think they're in a good spot. They're at home. They've got momentum, so I'm going to go with the Lions.
I think this is going to be a tough game because we did see week 1, Riders, BC. Riders won, but like by narrowly like it was 33-29. So this one's going to be a tough call, and especially because I think I'm going to pick the Riders though on this one. So I'll go with that. I just think they're on a roll now. They've gained a lot more momentum. Their conditioning is a little bit better, like their game speed conditioning. That's what I'm saying. So I think pick the Riders for that one.
Yeah, I feel like this one could be. It's kind of a battle for who finishes behind Winnipeg and gets that home playoff game to host in that first week of the playoffs. And this is big, and I think Saskatchewan's got a great shot. And both playing well, both 4-2. 2 quarterbacks that play very similar styles. It's to me that's the game of the week. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome, and
So
that's
surprising.
actually all we have. Yeah,
Amanda going with Saskatchewan. Shocker.
Shocker, right? Like I like that. Well, something weird.
I will say I saw a lot of common picks here this week from the experts, so you're sure to have some upsets for certain.
I feel like we catch so much slack that I feel like if we just unify and go into this thing together, and we can all just live with the results.
Together we ride, together we die. It's Chris O'Leary who joins us each and every Wednesday on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. Chris, thank you so much.
Absolutely, guys, and enjoy the weekend.
You too. Whew. All right, Amanda, we are going to have Taylor Willis coming up here from Kennesaw State, the esports coordinator. We're going to go a little overtime. I know you're busy. Did you want to stick around or you got to get out of here? Because we have a little video to play that's going to be about 5 minutes and then we're going to come back. But if you got to go, it's all good. We understand you got a game to prepare for, or you can stay and hang out. It's completely up to you.
I do have to go. Sorry about that. We got some coaches meetings to get to. Yeah, but thank you again. Always having me every Wednesday. So I'll be back next Wednesday.
No, we hate to see you go. We love to see you come back each and every week and join us here on the State of Football. Give us some inspirational words of wisdom before you go.
Doesn't matter what happens in life. You can control what you can control and focus on that and keep pushing, keep moving forward.
Awesome. Love it. We'll be keeping an eye on McMaster, the Marauders, coming up with the bye week as you get ready for game number 2. And we'll come back, chop it up, little CFL, little ELF next week, shall we?
Awesome. Okay. See you guys later.
All right. There she goes. Amanda Ruller. Make sure you follow her at Amanda Bollick. We do have a treat for you. I told you I am the commissioner of Conference 1, CF1.GG. We're kicking off October 5th. And we'll have balls to the wall coverage here on NFL Draft Bible, on Sports Illustrated, on Fan Nation. It's going to be exclusive coverage as we bring you into the collegiate esports world. And we're so happy to have Taylor Willis join us. Make sure you follow at Kennesaw Esports. They are going to be one of the teams competing this fall. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to reset. We have a video here. By the way, he's going to be on Friday with Big Law and do the live rendition. But we've been chatting it up. His name, let me make sure I give him his due credit here. And Taylor, we'll come back in 5. So if you got to hit the restroom, now's the time to do it. Play the song, Samantha. I'll come back and tell you who it is. He's going to join us on Friday, do the live rendition, and then we'll come back with Taylor Willis.
Roll Tide, Roll Tide. I might be the biggest Alabama fan you ever seen. Get a brand new Wait. Before you say no, just hear me out. I literally just wrote Alabama a new school song. I want you to check it out. And if you like it, add it to your game day playlist. And if you don't, I'm sensitive about my work. Roll Tide.
University of Alabama. Sure feel good to be home. Let's go. A lot of good memories here. Why don't y'all walk with me down memory lane? I remember my first kiss, but I don't remember her first name. Hell, I forget a lot of things, but I remember my first Bama game. It was a beautiful morning, and the gang, they're all here, laughing and having a good old time. Cooking now, you're sharing a beer when you're rolling with the Tide to see. There's no place I'd rather be. When you're rolling with the Tide, my friend, strangers become like family. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Now everybody knows that Alabama is in the winning business. And hell, business been good. Haters or lovers can beat us, join us. You work harder, but we work smarter. When it's all said and it's done, come on over and sing our song. It was a beautiful morning, and the gang, they're all here, laughing and having a good old time. Cooking now, you're sharing a beer when you're rolling with the Tide to see. There's no place I'd rather be. When you're rolling with the Tide, my friend, strangers become like family. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Yeah. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide!
All right, we gave you a little sneak peek, a little taste of brand new life at Brand New Life. I just retweeted at the NFL Draft Bible handle, and we will have Brand New Life on the show on our overtime special Friday, 11:15 after Emmanuel Acho. He's going to do the live rendition, folks, for us. I mean, come on. Got to show him a little love here, writing the new Alabama theme song. Maybe we can get him to do a new Kennesaw State school song, because we have our first esports coordinator here on the State of Football overtime segment. As I've been talking about the Conference 1 Collegiate Esports League, our Valorant season kicking off October 5th. And man, I'm so proud to bring the collegiate esports scene to the mainstream again, as we cover it here on Fan Nation, part of the Sports Illustrated Network. And so let's get right into it. Before we get to Taylor Willis, make sure you follow at Kennesaw Esports on Twitter. Samantha's going to pull up the home base page so you can follow along all of our schools, especially the Kennesaw State esports page, which we will cover throughout the season. And every Tuesday night, we'll have live stream on the mainstream, but we'll also have point of view streams. And so make sure you bookmark the Kennesaw State University esports team page. If you see it on the live stream at home right there, Samantha can drop it in the public chat. But let's welcome in Taylor Willis, who joins us right now from the campus of Kennesaw State. Good morning, Taylor. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing excellent. And we are proud to have you on, the first esports coordinator here from Conference 1 participating in the upcoming fall comp. Take our listening audience at home through the process. How is the Kennesaw State esports Valorant team assembled? What does that process look like?
So we had a team last year. Valorant's a pretty new game. So we kind of just hosted open tryouts last year. Got a lot of players. So last year was our first year, just kind of getting to know everybody, getting a general baseline of skill. And so we played in CF1 last year as well. Didn't do as well as we'd like. And so we knew coming into this year that we wanted to do CF1 again. So we had open tryouts again. We had like 55 people come try out, something crazy like that. So we have like 5 teams across the board. And so our Kennesaw State Gold team, which is the team that I'm on, we're competing in CF1. We have a different roster from last year. But the 2 of the same players are the same. But yeah. And so as far as how it's assembled, just general tryouts, we have like a whole spreadsheet of like everybody's rank, what agents everybody plays. And so we just try to assemble teams based on like, fill in the gaps on roles and try to group people based on skill level.
That's fascinating. So 55 people tried out, 5 people make it. And was that, I'm assuming, a bigger turnout than the previous year? Do you see that the Valorant esports program is growing there at Kennesaw State?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than we expected. So last year we had really 2 teams. So we had like 10 people. And it was kind of a stretch to get 10. And so this year we had way more than we probably expected, and kind of could facilitate. But so we stuck with 5 teams, which is still a lot to manage. But so we're doing 5 teams, all different skill levels from top to bottom. But yeah, so it's really exciting. It's growing a lot. So hopefully, the school takes notice, administration takes notice, and maybe, pitches some cool stuff our way. But we'll see.
Yeah, we got to boost those esports scholarships over there. So let's ante up Kennesaw State, and hopefully you guys win some of this prize money that's up for grabs here in the Conference 1 competition. We're talking to Taylor Willis, Kennesaw State coordinator and player for the Kennesaw State esports squad, participating in Conference 1 coming up October 5th. We're so excited about it. So Taylor, take us through a couple of matches last year that stood out to you. Who were some of the tougher opponents or more difficult schools that you guys had to face off against?
Yeah, so I don't remember specifically who we played in CF1, but I did make a list of teams who I know are playing in CF1 and I'm excited to play against. So Texas A&M, who I think is probably one of the best teams in collegiate right now. They have a lot of really good players like Agro, Dill. We played them a lot. We played them last year in some other tournament playoffs. Like I think in top 8 we played them. And so I know that they are really, really good. They're a team that I'm really excited to match up against to kind of see where we are as a team. And then I know that they're playing in CF1 as well. So I think that'll be a good match. SLU as well. I think that's St. Louis University. They're also really good. I'm excited to play them. We were kind of like scrim partners last year. We scrimmed a lot. And so we know those guys pretty well. And so I'm excited to be playing against those guys. I'm also really excited to play against Army. I've never seen them play and never scrimmed against them, but I know at least in Counter-Strike, which was the game I came from before this, they had a pretty good Counter-Strike team. So I'm excited to see what West Point's team is going to be like.
Yeah, all participants in the upcoming Conference 1 season. If you go follow us on Twitter at CF1 Esports, you will see all the school announcements. We'll have more later today, throughout the week, over the weekend, leading up to that October 5th launch. So Taylor Willis here, by the way, with us, the Kennesaw State coordinator, player, esports extraordinaire. You mentioned you never saw Army play, Taylor. So I'm curious, obviously you guys will get your practice in playing with each other. Will you now scout these opponents, Texas A&M and St. Louis University? Will you kind of get a scouting report on how they play, what they like to do going into your matches?
Yeah, so I have a notebook next to my desk where I go through the teams we're kind of playing and kind of take notes on their stuff. Hopefully without their knowledge. But like we played a team yesterday. Yesterday we played Carleton Ravens, and I don't know if they're going to be playing in CF1, but like I have like a list of like what they ban, what maps they like to play, their setups, what pistol strats they run, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I try to go through. I try to do my homework before our matches.
I love the strategy. I love the scouting. We're gonna have to compare notes here, Taylor. You must be a draft guy. I hear you're a football fan too.
Yeah, not as much college football as I used to be. I'm more of an NFL guy, but I have some like one of my buddies from high school. He does a lot of NFL draft scouting, so I try to follow along with what he's doing.
Very cool. Who's your NFL squad?
Well, I'm a Falcons fan, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's a little tough. At least this year, since I don't expect the Falcons to do great, I'm more of a fingers crossed for my fantasy team kind of season. I'm rooting for who's on my fantasy squad, but I mean, yeah, I'm at the point now where I kind of root for players more than I root for teams in the NFL. So like players who I really want to have a good year, I want to have like Matthew Stafford have a good year in LA, and I think Jameis Winston's gonna have a big year in New Orleans, even though they're a rival. But those are kind of the two players specifically who I'm rooting for.
Yeah, it tends to happen here lately when you're an Atlanta Falcons fan. It's been a tough couple of years. You start rooting for the fantasy football team. But let's talk about the Kennesaw State Valorant team. Let's shine the spotlight here, highlight some of the team members. Tell us who is on this official Valorant roster that's going to be competing in Conference 1.
Okay, so I'll start with me. I'm Taylor. I play Viper, so I play like the smoke controller character. Then we have Matthew Mills, whose name is Attach, like that's like his username. He plays like a flex role for us, so he plays like sometimes Killjoy, sometimes Sova. We have Nick, who goes by Dev. He plays our Sova, who's like an initiator, and then we're gonna have Daniel, who's my roommate. Actually, I don't think he's here, but he plays our duelist, like our Jet. And then I think we're going to be playing with Tweety, who was going to be our sub, but due to some scheduling concerns, he's probably going to be one of our starters now. And he's going to be kind of like as well as like a flex role, kind of see what he's got. He's a first semester freshman, so we're excited to see what he's gonna show. And then our coach is going to be Zach, and so he's our coach and our sub, and so he helps us out a lot. Sits down all of our practices, records everything, and then goes through and gets his thoughts after the fact. So he's been helping out a lot, actually, with a lot of the scouting that I was talking about.
Okay, so we got a fab freshman making his Kennesaw State debut here on the Valorant squad. So that's very cool. Taylor, I got to ask, what are you guys doing? I know you're scouting, you're practicing, you're breaking it down, you got the notebook. What are you doing from a mental health standpoint? Because you guys are going through the pandemic. I don't know what the COVID situation is at Kennesaw State and what the campus protocol is like, but we're still somewhat here in the pandemic, competing in esports. The mental aspect is a big part of the equation too. Is there anything specific that the Kennesaw State program does to kind of help that area?
I mean, like not anything specific. Like campus is, opening up a little bit more, but it's not, what it was before. It's kind of a shame, actually. Like once it does open up, like during the pandemic, we opened up like our esports arena with like all these computers and all that, but we haven't gotten to be able to go out there and practice yet because everything's been closed down. It's opening up a little bit more, so hopefully we'll get out there soon. But as far as like mental health, really a lot of it, at least during the matches and as far as the team goes, one of our really big goals, and I've been saying this since the start of the season, is I don't know if you're familiar with tilting. Tilting is like getting upset, like kind of like where you get like so mad you start like making dumb mistakes, stuff like getting too aggressive because you just like you get upset about a situation, so you try to make up for that situation by doing something maybe that you wouldn't normally do. And so that's been something that I've really been trying to instill in us is do not make a dumb mistake. Same thing in any sport, right? Like you get upset, something doesn't go your way, so you try to do something that you wouldn't normally do to try to make up for it, and that's how you lose games. So I've been trying to preach the don't tilt, that kind of stuff. Just doing stuff like that, like just trying to keep a positive mental mindset. One of the things I say a lot is, good attitudes win more games than good aim. So like, playing as a team, playing together, and not, getting mad about this or that will win you more games than just one person, being a superstar and winning a game. But so just that kind of stuff, I guess.
Okay, coach, sign me up. I'm ready. Taylor Willis, he's got it all. He's the whole package. He's motivator. He's coach. He's scout. He's doing it all. Big things is Taylor Willis. What year are you in, Taylor?
I'm a senior, so I've been doing the esports stuff since I was a freshman. I graduated high school in 2017. And I've been doing collegiate esports stuff ever since. So I'm pretty involved. I try.
Very cool. Well, hey, how about for our listening audience at home? Maybe they're a high school player and they aspire to get a scholarship or even go on and become a pro player at the esports level. What kind of advice, having kind of lived this world here now the last 4 or 5 years, what kind of advice can you pass forward to some of the younger players on the come up?
Great question. I prepared for this one too, because I people message me sometimes like, and that makes me feel really important, I guess, when people message me like, hey, I'm graduating high school. What advice do you have? First advice, don't choose your college for the esports program. College should come first. Esports is like one of those, at least right now, the current state of esports is one of those like fun side things that you can do, to meet people. Honestly, I put it on a lot of resume stuff, stuff like that. That's what you should treat it as. This is not it's kind of like don't go to college to hang out with your friends. Go to college for your career. That's the first piece of advice. Second piece of advice, if you want to do it, get involved. There's a lot of ways to get involved. If you're not, maybe you don't think that you're going to have to be a player, you can be a manager, you can be a coordinator, you can be a coach. There's tons of things that you can do to be involved outside of it. Like helping facilitate tournaments, setting up tournaments for your school, setting up leagues, that kind of stuff is all great ways to get involved. Other things like the high schoolers learning, like being able to work as a team and maturing a lot. That's something that a lot of young players that I've played with, they tend to not play as well on a team. They want to be, they feel like they have to make all the plays, and that if they don't make the plays, then they're going to lose. But learning how to rely on your teammates and trust your teammates is something that I think that's more of like, it comes with age and comes with experience. But like, that's just kind of the stuff, like to have a team first mindset and, being willing to go practice. And then like the most important part is talking after practice, right? Like once practice ends, you lose a tough game, sticking around after the fact, everybody's upset and talking about what went wrong and how you can improve on it, because otherwise you're just going to keep making the same mistakes, keep losing the same way.
Great advice. Taylor Willis here from the Kennesaw State's esports program, dropping gems on them with the knowledge here. And I will say the esports job market is about to boom here. So if you're lucky enough to get a collegiate esports scholarship, great. Very small percentage is going on to the professional level. So the next best thing I see, and one of the initiatives we're trying to create at Conference One, is set up a lot of our esports student players with job opportunities upon graduation. And Taylor, you're a senior and you'll be entering the real world. The esports industry is just going to be opening up with all kinds of opportunities. So we're excited about that. We are pumped up for the upcoming Conference One season kicking off here on October 5th. Before we let you go, let's get to know Taylor Willis a little bit. I usually say outside the lines, outside the monitor. I mean, what are you doing when you're not playing Valorant and other games here? What do you like to do outside of esports? What do you like to do outside of studying, spare time, hobbies, activities, music? I know you can only do so much with a somewhat shut down campus, but what's Taylor Willis doing outside of esports?
I mean, really the majority of it is just school and work. I work for like a cybersecurity company, so I'll be I have a lot of opportunities after I graduate that I'm really excited about. My boss is watching. Thanks for letting me go to work late so I could be here. Let's
give him a plug. Can we drop his name? Let's give him a shout out.
We'll just call him Brandon.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, I don't want to give away his. I'll give you his address if you want. I'll just say that right now. But yeah, so a lot of work. I really enjoy, the kind of work I get to do. So like, it's like really my life right now is go to work, come home, play games until I go to sleep, do homework in between. I'm happy. I just got engaged, so we're getting married in November. So
congratulations.
a lot of stuff going on. Outside of it, I play a lot of tennis. I played 4 years of tennis in high school. I'm not very good, but outside of games, it's really just, hanging out with my fiance, playing some tennis occasionally, and going to work.
Well, thanks for the reminder, Taylor, because my better half, Samantha behind the scenes, is also our super producer. We too got married in November, so our anniversary is coming up, and we got married on November 18th.
Okay.
You guys have a date?
Yeah, November 21st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
very
so close there. Yeah.
There we go. Well, congratulations. Can we give the wife to be? Can we give the fiance a first name shout out?
Yeah, her name is Autumn. Yeah, she's not here right now. She's at work, but
very nice.
So Autumn and I will get hitched in about 3 months now. 3 months to the day, nearly, or 2 months. Oh no, 2 months.
Autumn, you don't know what you signed up for. Taylor Willis here, going overtime, breaking it down. Kennesaw Esports. Any parting shots, Taylor? Final words? I'd love to have you on at some point as we get through the fall competition. Would love to have you back on here and do a cameo.
No, yeah, I'm happy to. I'm really excited. One of the things I wrote down, that impressed me so much with CF1 last year was just the production value. I'd love, if I'm not playing in a match, something like that, I'd love to stop by, give do some color commentary, something like that. I think that'd be a good time. But yeah, it's been great. I'm really excited for the season. Really excited to watch the matches and all that. But yeah, I'm happy to come on whenever you guys want a thought or anything like that. Need to break something down. I'm happy to help out.
Well, be careful what you ask for here, Taylor. We might take you up on that one. So we'll be chatting off the air. But thank you so much for coming on the air. And best of luck with the upcoming fall competition kicking off October 5th at Conference 1.
All right, awesome. All right, thank you guys so much.
All right, there you have it. Taylor Willis. What a spark plug, huh? Way to kick off our Esports Conference 1 coordinator series, we'll just call it, here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated, as we go overtime and bring you into the world of esports and bring the esports collegiate community to the mainstream. The pro game community is somewhat there hanging out on the mainstream, but the collegiate esports scene has kind of been buried behind the scenes. And so that's part of our initiative here on the NFL Draft Bible and the Fan Nation and the Sports Illustrated, is to highlight not only the league, but the entire esports community, and then also get the fellow Sports Illustrated beat writers involved. And you heard him mention Texas A&M and Oklahoma, and Arizona State was just announced yesterday. So bringing that kind of unique coverage to the forefront, covering the individual teams, telling the stories like Taylor, just highlighting the Kennesaw State esports program from 10 tryout participants a year ago to 55. If you don't think this is a growing industry, you are mightily wrong, my friends. This thing is going to just skyrocket to the top. It's only a matter of time, I'm telling you, where it's going to be rivaling Super Bowl views, World Cup views. That's the type of audience that esports will bring to the mainstream. So we're so excited to have it as part of our coverage here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. We will continue to go overtime and bring you more coordinators, more industry professionals. Last week we had the Gamers on. Tomorrow we'll have Fit Gamer on once again, talking more about the mental aspect of what goes into the esports strategy. But so much fun breaking it down with you here today on this Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. This is season 2, episode 36, part 295. Wow. Next week will be our 300th episode. Pretty unbelievable stuff there when you think about it. And so we'll do it again tomorrow with Dane Vandernat, Executive Director of the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, Neil Stratton from Inside the League, Michael Langley from 8760 Sports Management, and of course, RIC in the place to be. I'll be broadcasting live from New Jersey. Till the next time, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.